Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special Thursday night prime edition of Sir Hunt on X, as I am live from the outskirts of Cincinnati, Ohio, just outside Paycor Stadium, for the giant Thursday night clash tonight between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. The AFC North clash, we know the story with this one. Pittsburgh's 4-1. Cincinnati's 2-4 after the quarterback checked out week 2. We know what happened with that story, but that's already history. Of course, I divulge into the game here a little bit. Pittsburgh, we know 4-1, coming off the win against Cleveland. Quick turnaround to come here in the AFC North divisional clash against Cincinnati, which we know 2-4. The wheels have started to fall off piece by piece. They did get Joe Flacco, hoping that tonight at a quick turnaround may help salvage their season. And we know how that goes. And for this particular game, we talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, of course, coached by the standout Mike Tomlin, quarterbacked by Aaron Rodgers at age 41. The offensive line, stout. The running backs, we talk about Jalen Warren and Caleb Johnson are very good. The wide receiver, they got DK Metcalf from Seattle. He's turned to be a nice go-to piece for Aaron Rodgers in that offense. And we talk about the tight ends, though. Pat Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith, who they got from Miami, and, of course, the overgrown left tackle-sized tight end in Roderick Johnson, who if you try to tackle him, he'll probably turn you into a personal pancake. So good luck trying to slow him down. And as you look at that offense, and we know about their defense, it's always going to be stout, always been the Pittsburgh tradition, going way back to the Steel Curtain in the 1970s. We're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, the defense, of course, the standout T.J. Watt on the edge. The interior, you have Cam Hayward. Drafted Derek Harmon to be his placement, who I think is just an excellent defensive tackle and has played a limited role. And it's going to be a nice feeling for the Pittsburgh Steelers once Cam Hayward moves on. And, of course, on the edge, opposite T.J. Watt, you have Alex Highsmith. And, of course, you have Nate Herbig over there, who's just made clutch play after clutch play for that defensive team for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Linebackers are formidable, led by Patrick Queen, the one-time Baltimore Raven. Secondary, nothing stands out, but a good collection of guys that play well together. We talk about Joey Porter Jr., Darius Slay. Of course, they got Jabril Peppers not too long ago. Deshaun Elliott, who had a personal issue. He's come here. He's going to be playing. And you also add, on the other side, Jalen Ramsey, the acquisition from the Miami Dolphins. Not the same Jalen Ramsey as we once remembered, but still formidable enough to give that secondary oomph when they need it, especially on the defensive side. And we know the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers, defense has always been their calling card. So that's what they have coming in here. And, of course, when we go to the special teams, probably the best kicker in the NFL right now is Chris Boswell. Guy has a cannon for a leg, and that's what they have. They always go to that. I mean, they're 4-1. They're doing something right to get to 4-1. Of course, by so long, the jury is out on Pittsburgh because how they got here is a bit unique. But they are 4-1, and they have a chance to really seize control of the AFC North tonight. Now let's go to the flip side, which is the whiteout night for the Cincinnati Bengals. The white tiger stripes, we know how that story goes. Now we know this will happen with the quarterback who checked out week 2. Jake Browning came in, 3 games, 3 bad games. We know how that goes. Bring in Joe Flacco. Not great, but not bad week 6 at Green Bay. As I said, the only reason why that happened was because the Packers let him come back. And credit to Joe Flacco for taking advantage of it. We know about the wide receiver duo of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Offensive line, we know, leaves plenty to be desired. When you talk about the comedy of Orlando Brown Jr. as your left tackle, I mean, the guy is so bad, you can put a statue in front of Orlando Brown Jr., and the statue can burn Orlando Brown Jr. That's how bad Orlando Brown Jr. is at left tackle. Dylan Fairchild at the left guard. Good, but not great. But he's still a rookie. We'll see how that goes. Ted Karras, known for the Cincy hat. Great citizen over here. Give him his due. The right side, Jalen Rivers and Amarius Mims. Young, learning on the fly. The running backs, of course, Chase Brown. The defensive side, tough loss tonight with the loss of Trey Hendrickson. but they did get Shamar Stewart back. That might be something that helps out the linebacking core. Barrett Carter and Demetrius Knight Jr. That's a lot of growing up to do. And, of course, there's Logan Wilson, but we know the Bengals decided to give Logan Wilson the heave-ho last week. Well, who knows what that's going to lead to at the end of the day. And you talk about the secondary, plenty to be desired. Dax Hill's been solid. D.G. Turner coming up probably his best game as a pro, but that's about it. Cam Taylor-Britt's all for nothing. Jordan Battle's all for nothing. But I remember him in Baltimore. He was more of a nickel and dime back. The Bengals thought they could fit him in a bigger role, and that has backfired bad. And when you talk about that particular defense and the rankings, among the bottom in every major statistical category, and we talk about the offense of the Bengals, surprisingly still off bottom of in every major offensive category, but we know why that is. I mean, the quarterback checked out week 2, and we know the story about that one. Now we can fast forward to what's going to take place tonight. I'll get to my prediction here in a minute. We talk about the head coaches. Mike Tomlin is probably as good as it gets. As a fan of a division rival, I don't understand why Steelers fans have such a animosity toward him and want him out so bad, because he's as good as he's got. I mean, if you bring him over here, we'll take him, because we here are a little fed up with the coaching staff over here, how they've managed games. And oh, by the way, they usually Anarumo as a scapegoat last year. And look what Anarumo is doing over there in Indianapolis. I mean, he's just basically killing it right now. And you bring in Al Golden. Granted, it's a makeshift defense, a transitional defense going to a bit of a youth movement, because we know the rumors of Trey Hendrickson that's coming around. But that is what it is. And we talk about what's taking place with the defense. It's basically falling on hard times, as we know. So that's what we have. We talk about the coaches and the players and the personnel going into this matchup. And, of course, we always have this matchup. It's always conflicting fan bases. I mean, I've said all along, one of the more chill ones is a Pittsburgh fan base. I've already driven over here. I've already seen about a third of the Pittsburgh faithful over here, headed over there to the stadium. And, of course, we know how the Bengals fans are. I mean, they want the credit for everything. They don't want the blame for anything. And that's how we know how the Bengals fans are. And right now, the Steelers fans are giving it to them with both barrels, gratefully so. That's how the Bengals faithful is, wasn't, always will be. And so that's what we have coming forward. We're talking about what's going to take place in this particular game tonight. And the thing is, these games, divisional games, you have a chance to seize control of this division at the very least when you consider how Baltimore's looked and how Cleveland is just non-existent. And now the Bengals, after the quarterback checked out week 2, has basically checked out with them. That's exactly what you have going on here in this particular game. And a real chance to seize control of a golden opportunity to go to 5-1 and pretty much put an early stranglehold on the division, because, everybody thought Baltimore was going to run away with it. Yours truly being one of them, I'll admit it. But that's what Pittsburgh has a chance of opportunity with this. For Cincinnati, you know how you looked all season long. I mean, even your 2 wins, you only won by combined 4 points. You know what happened the last 4 games? 9 plus-minus differential is minus 80 up to this point. And if you go 2-5, and someone read the stat on the Rich Eisen show earlier today, it's a 6% chance that you make the playoffs with a 2-5 record. We all know this. And that's what the Bengals are faced with tonight. And if you talk about what's going to take place here, they're not going to have Trey Hendrickson, unfortunately. I mean, I know Lucas Patrick was off the IR. That might help their offensive line a little bit. Whether he's used or not, I don't know. I mean, is Zach Taylor, what do you expect? But you have a chance to probably right the ship a little bit. And remember, you guys are 1-0 in the division. You get credit for that. Great. It was by 1 point because the Browns can find a kicker to save their lives. We know what happened with that. But you're 1-0 in the division. You can go 2-0 in the division. And the division will look like it's not going to be the greatest in the world. And if you can find a way to pull this one off, even with Joe Flacco a quarterback, you might have a ray of hope moving forward. The keyword being rounds and the matchups here. When you play Pittsburgh, it's always about the line of scrimmage, both sides, offense and defense. It's always going to be that. And we know that's where the Steelers, personnel-wise, historically have excelled. And on the Bengals side, outside of signing Trey Hendrickson, they've never excelled at, unless you were talking about drafting Anthony Munoz once upon a time. But in recent years, they haven't excelled in that particular field. And what do you get as a result? That's exactly what's going to happen moving forward with this. I mean, people are going to talk about how they look good and coming back against Green Bay. Look, Green Bay let the Bengals come back. And we know Bengals, the Packers sometimes troll their, and that's exactly what they did last week. Pittsburgh always comes in with something to prove every week. And they're going to give it to you for all 4 quarters. There's no pulling back. We saw how they just busted some players of the Browns, Cleveland Browns off the chops. We saw what happened there. And they're going to come here this week. One thing they're going to have to do, if I'm the Bengals, I'm testing Pittsburgh down the field, going at the cornerbacks in the secondary, and I'm testing them because that's the only chance you have of this. Dips and dunks, screenplays, is going to play right into the hands of the schemes that the Pittsburgh defense like to show. And I'm not doing dips and dunks. That's just a not so great strategy when you talk about this particular show up, okay? All you're just going to do is show up because, you can beat up the Bengals in the line of scrimmage. I mean, as I said all along, you can put a defense of 11 statues on the Bengals offensive line, they'll find a way to get to the quarterback. And if you can put 11 statues on offense against the Bengals defense, they'll find a way to put points on the Bengals defense. That's the reality of it. I hate to be that way, but that's the reality of it. But I think in this case tonight, I expect a much, much better effort, especially we talk about the uplift of the whiteout and the rivalry the AFC North is, because we know when 2 of the AFC North teams collide, especially these 2 over the past 2 decades, it's always good. It's always edgy and hard hitting. And I think that both teams will be prepped up, ready to go. Really prepped up and ready to go because that's what I expect moving forward with this particular game. Now, we talk about what lies ahead. Let's play theory here a little bit. If Cincinnati wins, they're still in it. But if they lose, might be time for a fire sale. Because as we know, the Trey Hendrickson rumors has gone running wild. 49ers, Colts, Eagles have reportedly have some form of interest. I mean, get the 49ers, with no Nick Bosa, maybe a 1-year rental. Colts, of course, with Lou Anarumo. Eagles, they saw Zadarius Smith retire, and that's why that's going to take place if they lose. I mean, I don't know if they'll go that far for a fire sale, but it's something to consider when you think about what's about to happen the rest of the year and moving forward. And, of course, if you lose this season, you might as well just tell Joe Burrow to just simply sit it out for the year because you're not going to find a way to win 2-5. Find a way to win 7 of your next 10 games with the way the roster and the schedule is constituted because that's going to be tough sledding. Because a stat was read, teams that go 2-5, only 6% make the playoffs. But if they go 3-4, only 18% make the playoffs. So they're up against it either way. But this is their playoff atmosphere tonight. At the whiteout, white tiger, whiteout atmosphere, they have a chance to probably have their best win of all season long tonight. Now for Pittsburgh, you win this game. If you win this game, and it's doable. You're going to be in control of the AFC North, no matter what Baltimore does. Because right now, nobody knows what's going on in Baltimore. We know the defense is just falling, crash and burnt face first. That's what's happened to Baltimore. You're Pittsburgh. You have a chance to take real control of this division. And the division looks like it's not going to be much because when you think about it, Pittsburgh's 4-1. The other 3 teams have a combined 4 wins. That's how bad the Pittsburgh the AFC North is. I apologize. And Pittsburgh sees control of it. I mean, granted, the roster is not one you would think is totally of surreal talent. But what they do, they play it together. They understand their assignments. They understand their roles. And they do their job. I mean, that wasn't mean at the end of the day down the road in the AFC picture. Too early to tell. Solid complementary football right now. And that is all you can ask for when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers over there and the Steeler fan base. Now, as I wrap this up, who I think is going to win this game? It's going to be closer than people think. A lot of people are calling this a wipeout for Pittsburgh. I won't go that far. Pittsburgh is going to win this game because they're going to control the line of scrimmage. Because whenever the Cincinnati Bengals play, it's always an issue with the line of scrimmage. Always. The offensive line, defensive front, defense gets pounded. Offensive line is going to get toasted. And we have the defensive schemes of Pittsburgh. They're going to find a way to make the plays. Won't be as easy as people think. This is a potential trap game because after the bye, Green Bay goes to Pittsburgh in a big-time game where Aaron Rodgers plays against his former team. I think Pittsburgh will be focused, but I think Cincinnati is going to give them everything they can handle for as long as they can until the Pittsburgh just gradually wears them down and finds a way to win this game. Probably pulls away late because this Joe Flacco's home debut here in Cincinnati. The energy is actually a little higher for this game than I thought it would be, and there's a decent buzz right now. I'll give it that. But I don't think it's going to be good enough to get the win. Pittsburgh will win this game, but it won't be as easy as everyone says. I mean, the numbers say it will be. I mean, there are 6 points. I mean, I think the odds were like 6 points. I'll probably keep it as a push. I won't take the. Some people who says Pittsburgh will win, but take the points for the Bengals. I won't go that far. Simple reason it is because I don't trust the Bengals offense enough to cover that much. Because if you're going to stick to dick and dunks, you're not going to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're playing right up their alleyway. You need to take shots, and need to take shots downfield, and take shots downfield often to have a chance to win this if you're Cincinnati. So give me the Pittsburgh Steelers at home, closer than people think, because I think the Bengals is going to play inspired football, given what happened the last 4 weeks where they basically had 4 quit jobs. Because look at the point differential over the last 4 games. Actually, look at the point differential all season long. It is absolutely an embarrassment. That's why you're 2-4. But that's why I said you was going to be 2-4 coming into this game, and you're likely going to be 2-5, even if you had Joe Burrow. Because look at the makeup of that roster. Not necessarily all that great. I mean, a lot of people thought Burrow was going to carry this team. One guy can carry a team that bad for so long until the wheels and the body falls off. And that's what happened when you talk about what happened to Joe Burrow in week 2. And it's just a shame. Because there's a talent deficit, but they got to learn how to play through this talent deficit just to have some kind of headway through the season to see what they got moving forward. Because if they go 2-5, might be time to do some hardcore evaluations over here in Cincinnati. And I mean hardcore evaluations. So give me Pittsburgh at home. Closer than expected game. And I think it'll be a pretty darn good one. Because I think the Bengals are going to find a way to just hang around the best they can until Pittsburgh starts to pull away late. Simply because the Steelers just have the better team and the better roster and better talent at key positions, the talent that Cincinnati lacks at those same key positions. That's going to be the difference. And, of course, the quarterback matchup, the 40-somethings, Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco. It's basically like watching Patrick Ewing of the Magic against Hakeem Olajuwon of the Raptors. It's like watching the 2009 WrestleMania that featured Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, somewhere in their deep end of their late 50s. But let's enjoy this while we can. I mean, Rodgers is playing solid football. Not great, but solid football, quietly. Flacco was solid. I said Green Bay let him be solid. Wasn't great again in Cleveland, but Cleveland has nothing outside of a defense. That's about it. But let's enjoy this game. May the best team win. Let's have a good battle. This one's going to be better than people think. But do give me Pittsburgh over here. They're 22 of their last 27 over here at Paycor Stadium. So I can't point correctly. And it's going to be 23 of 28. But I think this one's going to come down to the wire. It's going to be a lot closer than people think. But the talent deficit that the Bengals lack is where the Pittsburgh has the strength. That'll be the difference. Give me Pittsburgh on the road, and they go to 5-1. And I'll actually be in that stadium, be a part of the team. I'll actually take this off. I have my fan gear on. I hope I'm wrong when I said I think Pittsburgh's going to win. I would love to go on my show tomorrow and say I was wrong. I would love to, because it would be nice. But I don't see it happening. I mean, a lot of people just calling this a dog walk. I think Bengals are going to try every trick in the book to hang in there, even without Trey Hendrickson, who's out. But we'll see where this one goes. It's just that Pittsburgh has the better teams, better players in key areas that the Bengals are lacking in talent, and that's where the difference is going to lie. And on that note, this will wrap up this special edition of Sir Hunt on X. I hope everyone had themselves a wonderful night tonight. Good luck to the Bengals and the Steelers. Good luck to both fan bases. Steeler fans, I always respect the hell out of you. Good luck to you guys. See you with my fellow compadres here in Cincinnati. But do better and act better, because that's what you haven't done over the last 4 years. And if you missed any part of this show or any of my others, as always, you can catch the replays on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and the Spotify apps. This video will be displayed on the Spotify apps as well as social media platforms. And as always, make self-care your number one priority. Every walks of life you can. You take care of yourself first, all the good things will come your way. If you don't take care of yourself first, nothing else is going to matter. Focus on you, take care of you, and the good things will come. Have a good rest of the night. Take care of yourselves. God bless. Enjoy the game. I'll be in the stadium, posting throughout my X platform for those of